All right, here's a quick introduction to the hardware you'll need for the CIS 2011 computer architecture class this spring. Um, we're going to use Raspberry Pis for the class. You'll need to buy Raspberry Pi, possibly. I do have about a dozen of them that I can lend out to students on campus. So if you're on campus students and it's a challenge to purchase this, we can have, and I'll have a sign up for that I'll send out later next week for that. So this is Raspberry Pi is just this little box here, and it's just this little Pi device, a little single board computer we call it here. It has a USB-C plug for the power supply and two HDMI ports, but these are little tiny HDMI ports. So let's talk what you need. You need a Raspberry Pi. They come in a number of different flavors, and you can get them from either DigiKey or Adafruit or Amazon, among other places. These are just three common places we use. Um, so they come in 2 gig, 4 gig, 8 gig. I suggest doing the 4 gig or the 8 gig. The 2 gig, you can double the amount of RAM and get a lot more speed for $10 more. So I think that's worthwhile for this class here. So you need the single board computer there from one of these locations. Now that's just the board, and then you're going to need a case for it and a power supply here. So you need some sort of case to hold it. It doesn't matter. There's lots of options out there, but just some basic case or something just to hold it in place there. You can actually do it with a cardboard box if you want a knife. Use little plastic Tupperware also. So there's options there. The power supply. You need a USB-C power supply. It has to be at least 27 watts here, so about 5 amps here. So most of your phone chargers and stuff won't do it. They sell them just like this. This is another one. This is again USB-C. This is actually a laptop one. And so this, if you look at the label, it'll tell you this is actually 45 watts because it runs a whole laptop. So that would actually work too there. Um, and you need an HDMI cable. So like I say, these boards have little HDMI ports here, so we need usually a cable or an adapter that goes from a normal HDMI plug to one of these mini or micro HDMI ports there. And you need an SD card here, so you need some sort of an SD card, a micro SD card for this. It can be as small as 16 gig. But nowadays, you probably can't find them. Even a 64 gig is only $4. So you need at least one of those here. Having two of them wouldn't necessarily hurt. So you can buy them all separately, like at DigiKey. You can just put them, or Adafruit. You can put all this stuff in your cart and buy it. So it'd be under $100 for this. Or you can just go to Amazon. They have kits that have all of the board, the case, the SD card, and the power supply and the HDMI cable all together. But it actually is a little bit more than if you buy them all separate from these other vendors. If someone finds a good place to buy the kits all together that is a better price, let me know there. So, but you need a Raspberry Pi and you need these accessories if you don't have them already. We also need some electronics. We're going to do some breadboard work there. So there's some common kits out there for this that have some. We need some resistors, we need some LED lights, we need a couple push buttons, and we need this GPIO extension and a cable, and then that connects up to this big, or not that big, but this breadboard that we'll use in a number of our labs. So you need some kit like that. Again, if you're on campus, we have a bunch of those kits here. If you're not on campus, you'll probably have to buy one of them here. So these kits include all this stuff. You can do it. It's actually separate again if you buy them separately here. But again, that can be another $20 or $25 for these kits of electronics. Now, the last thing you hopefully you can just find around the house is we need to plug in a mouse and a keyboard. So your Raspberry Pi will have just standard USB ports, 4 USB ports here. That you'll want to connect up, and so you'll want a mouse and a keyboard here. So if you borrow a mouse and keyboard in the computer labs when we're working down there, we'll just unplug the mouse and keyboard from the current computers and plug them in here. We also will need a monitor here, and again, we're just going to borrow the monitors in the computer labs when we're working down there. We'll just unplug the HDMI cable from the computers and plug it into the Raspberry Pi. Although again, we'll need an adapter or an HDMI cable to do that. Again, if you're home, a lot of students use a TV. If you have an extra TV or just a TV around with the HDMI port, just use that. And again, maybe you have an extra keyboard and mouse lying around, a USB mouse or keyboard. Otherwise, you can just purchase one here also. So that's the idea here. So you want your Raspberry Pi and you want everything kind of connected up with that. If you have any questions, get a hold of me. I'll post a list of of items that you can check out from the department for the semester next week. I sent on a message to my current students, my past students, if they want to sell theirs. So there will be a list of a couple of students selling used ones. I'll share that with you next week also.